This will be a very quick video on how to make sure that you have your Cura and Octoprint set up correctly so that you can slice through Octoprint on either your Raspberry Pi or your other main machine, whatever you have Octoprint running on. So the way you do this is, first off, you need to make sure that you are actually using Git to check out Octoprint. So what you would do is you would do the normal git clone process, and then you would use from GitHub this URL right here to clone down Gina's repository of Octoprint. This is the master repository. And then once you've cloned it down, what you can do is you can check out the development branch. Now the development branch of Octoprint has all the latest on Cura integration stuff. You don't need to get it off of my personal repository anymore. It's in the development branch. It's been pulled in. So what you would do that with the git command git checkout -b/development. Well, you'd want to check it out from development, which should be fine. So that was how. So you need to make sure you're on the development branch for Cura. The next step is in your Octoprint when you're running it. So I've already started running it. When you're running it, in your settings, the way you know you're on the development branch, you should have a feature called Cura. And in this feature, you need to make sure that you've enabled it. This is actually, you actually do need to check this box. You need to have a path to Cura, and if you've installed Cura in the normal process, like from Ultimaker's descriptions where you're just installing it, you're not compiling it from the GitHub, then it should be somewhere in your user share. But you need to point to the Cura file, and then the path to your configuration file. This is a path to a profile file that you've exported from Cura, so that when we basically ask Cura to slice these STL files we upload, it will use this profile. We are hoping to have the opportunity to let you pick which one you want to use so you can have multiples here, but for this first pass it's going to be simply this. So once this is what my settings look like. So if I save this and I go ahead and try and upload, and I pick an STL file, it'll upload it. You should see a little pop-up that tells you how long it took. You should see some output if you've got your output for your Octoprint running, unless you've run it in daemon mode and it's no longer there. And you should see the G-code file. And then when you delete this file, it actually will delete the G-code file and the STL file off of, and we are hoping that you'll eventually allow people to like reslice it with a different setting or modify a setting or edit the G-code, all those different things, but for now it's not working like that. So you can go ahead and remove the G-code file. So that's how you have this part set up. Now the way to verify that you have the correct stuff in Cura, and this is more tricky, is to remember that so we have to point to this cura.py file, which you can see right here. And then, but the actual file to actually check to make sure you have my patch to Cura is to go into the Cura module and actually open up cura.py. And then the option you want to see is you need this output option. And this is my patch. Is I added an output option here, so you need these two lines. And then what happens is that inside of the slicing, when it's running it from the command line to slice, it actually will copy over the temporary file to the actual desired file, which allows us to put it into where Octoprint can actually read from it and show it up in the UI and all those types of things. So my patch does this. Now there's two different ways you can do this. You can either go to Dade's repo for Cura and actually do all the install and setup and everything like that, or you can install Cura normally and just open up this file and copy these lines over to this file right here and right here, which are essentially what I've added to his development branch, which he calls Steam Engine. So his master does not have this patch. So that's the important thing to remember, is that if you are going to check out Cura and compile it from scratch, you need to compile the Steam Engine version that does have my patch. He has merged my patch into it. So if you go to, if we go in here and we go look at Cura, and we go to cura.py, you will see that my patch in here for the output option right here, these two, basically these several lines have been added, and they are in his actual Steam engine. So this is probably the trickiest part of this process, but it should help you do this. So that is how you make sure that you have Cura set up. So you need to go ahead and make sure that your settings look like this, something like this. So it's pointing to Cura.py. You have your profile stuff that you either have the development branch of Octoprint and the development branch of Cura, or you directly copy those files over. The thing to remember is that in user share, you have to use sudo privileges or root privileges to actually edit and save any edits to these files. So just remember that, and then you should be good to go. So that's it. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out through the Octoprint community. There are several people that have already gone through this process and to get this all working. So if you have any questions, please post them there, or if you run into a bug, please post it to Gina's to the issues here on Octoprint. So you can go ahead and add a new issue, and we will get to it when we can. This is open source. So I hope that you find this useful, and you can reach out to me also through Google+. That's it. Bye.